Valve, if you're listening, then please give us an OLED screen in the Steam Deck. It would be the single greatest upgrade that you guys can give this thing. I'm going to be telling you my thoughts on it and why I think we should get an OLED screen. Hell, they might even make modded OLED screens to put in this thing at some point. But I'm going to tell you why I think it should get an OLED screen in the future. And if, please, before you get into this video, let me know in the comments if you think an OLED screen would make this thing even better than it already is. Also, if you're feeling so inclined, please like the video, hit the subscribe, and click the bell icon. It supports the algorithm, supports this video, supports me as a creator. And if you want to support any more, click the join button to become a member and support that way if you can. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, guys, let's get into it. Let's talk about why the Steam Deck should get an OLED screen. Let's go. Let's start by talking about the Steam Deck itself, right? It was announced last year. It's advertised as an all-in-one handheld PC, gaming PC, essentially, with everything you need to enjoy PC gaming, right? It's got touchpads, it's got analog triggers, which I love for racing games. It's got all the inputs, and it's even got some extra inputs on the back. It's got very good analog sticks with touch sensitivity on them, so they know when your thumbs are resting on them or not. It's got all the inputs. It's really a great device, and it's got expandable storage, it's got micro SD, it's got rumble inside. It's literally a gaming PC in your hands, and it's got a 720p screen in it. Now, you can either get the glossy regular screen if you get the cheaper models, or if you go up to the 512, you can get the laminated anti-glare screen, which, don't get me wrong, it's kind of nice. It is actually kind of nice. But there's one thing missing in this thing, and it's an OLED screen. And I'm going to tell you why I think the Valve Steam Deck should have an OLED screen. And we're going to go a little bit down memory lane as to why I think that. Because before 2021 or before 2022, I wasn't that bothered about what screens went in whatever consoles, right? I was fine with an IPS screen was like the benchmark. IPS gives you a good balance, good contrast, darker blacks, deeper blacks, more vibrant colors and whatnot, and then you have your regular LCD screens which have poor viewing angles, etc. Well, that is until Nintendo, a little company called Nintendo, you might have heard of them, you might not have, I'm not sure, released this. I was gonna say the Steam Deck OLED. No, the Nintendo Switch OLED. Now, this little guy, when this was announced, I'm gonna go back and tell him when the Switch OLED was announced, I was a little bit peeved off. Right, it came out. The Switch came out in 2017. They did a revision, I think, with a better battery life, more efficient CPU, with gives you better battery life. And I was expecting a Switch Pro, right? I was expecting a handheld console that could play current gen games like Call of Duty, like Battlefield, all the big games that are big nowadays. And then they came out and announced the Switch OLED. Basically, it's the Switch you're all used to, same specs, nothing new, but it has an OLED screen. That's basically the only upgrade. That and maybe like a new kickstand on the back. And I was a little bit peeved off. I was like, "What the heck? Come on! They're slapping an OLED screen in." So after it was announced, I was like, "I don't want an OLED Switch. Why would I want an OLED Switch? It's just got a new screen in it, same old hardware, no improvements essentially." And then my wife went and picked one up. I was sitting next to her on the sofa. She turned this thing on next to me, and I was like, keep it away from me. I don't want to see this crap. And then it lit up in red, and it was the most beautiful red I've ever seen. And words can't describe what it was like seeing this thing turn on for the first time. Like, you might think I'm over exaggerating here, but when I looked over at that screen and saw it glow up, it was like unlike anything I've ever seen before. Now you guys know those commercials you see where somebody's sitting outside with their Steam Deck or their Switch in the bright sunshine, and there's no reflections, there's no glare, the screen's super bright, there's no issues with seeing the screen whatsoever, and then you finally get your hands on it in real life and go like, it doesn't look that good, I can barely see this outside. Well, the Switch OLED is actually that good. It's as good as they advertise it. It's as good as it looks in the commercials. Now, for the Switch, it's not until you lay the regular Switch down next to the Switch OLED that you can truly appreciate the differences in viewing angle, the differences in brightness, the vibrancy of it. It literally looks like a sticker on a screen, right? And just imagine if the Steam Deck had that. Now, I'm caught in a dilemma at times when there's games on the Switch and the Steam Deck. Because as much as I want to play it on the Steam Deck, being able to switch between Steam Deck and my gaming PC, I want to enjoy the visuals of the Switch OLED. So it's a really hard thing, and I hope they bring the OLED to Steam Deck. I've had OLEDs in the past, right? I've had Samsung phones for as long as I could remember. You know, you get used to OLED screens on your Samsung phone, right? It looks nice, it's pretty, it's vibrant, it's colourful, good view angles, etc. I was kind of numb to OLEDs. I mean, yeah, they have 42-inch LG C2, you know, TVs that look kind of nice in the store. Don't get me wrong, I would love to have one in my office, but I was just like, an OLED in a Switch. Oh, big deal. Until I saw the Switch OLED, until I saw my wife turn hers on, and let me tell you guys, I was blown away by like the difference a screen can make. And I think it's really hard to appreciate. Um, I think it's really hard to appreciate how much difference a screen can make. You know, like I says, when the Steam Deck was announced, I was happy with everything. The screen, I was happy with it. It looked pretty good in the videos and the previews and stuff before it came out and before it was launched. I was fine with that, and until I got this bad boy. Now, after seeing my wife's Switch OLED, I grabbed it off her. Well, she handed it to me, and I looked at it, and I was like, wow. First of all, the viewing angles are second to none. Like, you could be looking at it from you could be looking at it from like this angle, and it literally looks like as good as it would be if you were like looking at it face on. That's a big deal. Like, you don't usually, I'm not too like hyper focused on viewing angles because I'm usually looking at the menu, looking at the console direct on when I'm playing it anyway. But the viewing angles on this were insane. It literally looks like a self-illuminated sticker. Now, if you don't know what OLED is, it's basically a new display technology. It's been around for a while, but basically each and every pixel is illuminated individually. Like, every pixel is self-illuminated, right? And what that does is it gives you vibrant colors. You know, the black pixels that are black aren't even switched on, right? They can be like they can be dimmed, they can be, you know, brightened up. Every pixel is self-illuminated. So the now, when you compare that to a traditional LCD display, an LCD is made up of like several different layers, and at the very back is like a very diffused LED lamp, basically, that lights up the whole screen. So you're not getting those true blacks. Blacks are black, the colors are really bright and colorful, and you obviously get that HDR effect, right, where the bright parts of the screen look extremely bright, the dark parts look extremely dark, and I cannot put into words how much of a difference an OLED screen makes. Games that I've played for a lot of time, games that I played that I got bored of, when I played them on the Switch OLED, they felt like brand new games. I can't put into words how it feels. It just makes you want to play games even more, because games just look, you notice a lot of details you never noticed, you know, when you played it on a regular screen. So like, I could go on a long rant about why an OLED screen makes such a difference. I've never seen red and white look so good as I did when this thing turned on for the first time. So yeah, essentially the same day my wife got her Switch OLED, like literally after 10 minutes of just playing around on hers, I went and traded my existing Switch I had at the time, which was a V2 Switch, for an OLED. I did a trade in at GameStop and immediately got a Switch OLED because it was that big a deal. And I'm not over exaggerating. I'm not. The OLEDs make a massive difference here. And like I said, you know, you're getting that vibrancy, you're getting that amazing contrast ratio. Darks are black, light screens are bright, vibrant, and colorful, and it just makes you look like you're looking at like a sticker, an illuminated sticker on your screen. It. I can't put it into words, but it made a massive difference to me. And after having the Switch OLED, I'm looking at my Steam Deck, and as much as I love this thing, I do. I love this thing. I've got no complaints about it. Honestly, don't have no complaints about it. Besides maybe them giving us a new CPU at some point that allows us to play games faster. But isn't that what we all want in tech these days? The one thing they can improve is the screen. They could slap an OLED in here, call it a day, just like the Switch. And I think this thing would be perfect. Like I says, it gives your existing games that you play more depth. It makes them feel brand new. And I know how silly that sounds. How could a screen make your games feel better than they are? Like how could a screen make that much of a difference? It really does. And you probably won't realize until you maybe pick one of these up in your hands and maybe compare it to a regular Switch. It makes a massive difference. Now, with OLED, it does come with its own downsides. It is prone to maybe burning if you're playing static images on it for a long period of time. I think there's been a few YouTubers out there that have actually tested the Switch OLED for burning, and they've had their Switch turned on for like damn near half a year to a year, and they're only starting to see like signs of burning. But there is ways of like trying to reverse it. So burning's not an issue I'm too worried about with OLED now. They've improved the technology a lot since it first came out. But I cannot understate. I mean, I can't overstate how much of a big deal OLED is, and how I think all major gaming consoles, especially the Steam Deck, should get an OLED screen. Now, I know I've not went into the technical deep end in terms of all the tech that OLED packs in, all the benefits and advantages of OLED. I'll let you search that on your own. But I would really advise you, or, just to try, maybe if you have a friend with a Switch OLED, just pick it up, give it a shot, and see the difference for yourself. I know this has just been a big long rant video about the Steam Deck and, OLED screens. But I just really want to get it out there. I want to get people discussing OLEDs more. I want to see companies put OLEDs in more devices because I've said it again and again. I cannot overstate the impact and the difference an OLED screen makes. If you love games, if you love watching content, if you really want to enjoy your devices or your Steam Deck, they need to bring us an OLED one. And that's one of my number one upgrades for the new Steam Deck when it comes out. Literally, this thing is perfect. I mean, I would love if they put a little bit more time into maybe optimizing the Steam Deck for Windows, giving us better Windows graphics drivers, and making dual booting possible and stuff like that. Those are little minor gripes that I've got that I'd like them to improve on. But if they could add an OLED screen in here in Switch V2, and not Switch V2, Steam Deck V2, I'll be eternally grateful because an OLED screen is absolutely amazing. And I'm hoping to do a couple of comparison videos, maybe showing you what an OLED screen might look like on the Steam Deck. So subscribe, click the bell icon for that. Let me know in the comments. Please let me know in the comments what you think. The TLDR basically is that I think OLED's amazing. I wasn't too fussed about it on a games console before last year, before the Switch OLED came out. When I saw this, when I had this in my hands, when I saw how games looked, how different they looked, how much better they looked with an OLED screen, it really shifted my opinion on OLEDs in handheld consoles. I didn't think it was necessary. Now I do, because I think it really is. Words can't describe how good things look on an OLED screen. If you're not a techie, it's fine. Don't worry. I mean, like I says, I wasn't that bothered about OLEDs until I tried one. I think it'll make a massive difference. And if you love the Steam Deck, I think you'll love one in your Steam Deck. And I hope Valve, if you're listening, please consider slapping an OLED in this thing in your next update. When that update might come, I don't know. Maybe next year, maybe the year after. I know there's a lot of people still waiting on their Steam Deck. It is back ordered quite a bit, but hopefully, if they are thinking about the next version or the next model, they should seriously consider an OLED. Now, yeah, that's my thoughts. I'll maybe put a little bit of B-roll. Hopefully, I've put a bit of B-roll in this video, basically just showing you the Nintendo Switch OLED, to make the video a little bit more interesting, because like I says, I love OLED screens now in handheld consoles, and I think it would be the single greatest upgrade this bad boy can get. Anyways, guys, I'm Blaze2K. Sorry for rambling on, sorry for taking up your time, but let me know in the comments what you think about OLEDs in the Steam Deck. Who do you want one, or do you think it's meh? Let me know down below. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, click the bell icon, and I will see you in the next video. As always, have an amazing day. God bless. I'll see you later. It's Blaze2K saying now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.